Hello and welcome to episode 291 of the Daily Sales Message Sales Podcast, where every single day I share a piece of simple, actionable advice that's designed to help you feel more confident and sell more stuff. Today, we're talking about something which I just can't believe I haven't already covered in a podcast episode, but apparently I haven't. And it's this notion of selling the destination, not the journey. You see, most people are selling the wrong thing. Most people are focusing on the wrong thing in their messaging, in their websites, etc. And they're not connecting with their buyers as a result. It's a simple issue of syntax. Syntax is a posh word for ordering, so just saying one thing before the other. And I'll give you an example. And I use airline adverts as my principal example here. So if you can imagine an airline advert, most of them have the Eiffel Tower, an Australian beach, Vegas, Big Ben and London, etc. in them. They show you the landmarks, the places, the destinations that they fly to. They very rarely put a plane or a plane seat in the actual advert. They do it sometimes, of course, but they don't often. And the reason is they want you to contextually place yourself in the destination, think and feel what it would be like, and use that to excite you and drive you forward to buy. And it's a difference between saying, would you like to buy a plane seat and would you like to buy a holiday? Sounds really flippant and obvious, doesn't it? But they're two very different things. Would you like to buy a plane seat? Would you like to buy a holiday? And all they're doing is changing the ordering of what they're talking about. They're focusing first of all on what you actually want, which is a destination. And then they're saying, okay, well, to get to Australia, you need to buy a plane seat. Here we go. Rather than saying, would you like to buy a plane seat? And it's out there thinking, well, I don't know. I haven't decided where I want to go yet. So changing the syntax, changing the ordering makes their messaging much more appealing and engaging because they're focusing on the right thing. And we need to do the same in your business because you are more likely to be talking about the intricacies of your product or service and the details and going straight into all of the boring details. They're exciting for you, of course, but for your buyer, quite boring. And we're skipping over the fact that your buyer doesn't really connect with you just yet and understand what you're offering. So we need to establish what's the destination in your business. How do you leave people better than when you found them? More often than not, it's actually a feeling or an emotion, because whether you're selling B2B or B2C, you're selling B2H, business to human, you're always talking with somebody somewhere. Hopefully, AI hasn't taken over just yet. So we're dealing with emotional creatures, and we have to understand what's the emotion, what's the end result, where do they want to be, what does it feel like, look like? What is it like? What's that destination they're trying to get to? Understand what that is. And then that's the bit that we talk about. That's the bit that we talk about with our client. So for Clear Sales Message, as the example, most of the time my buyers, whether they realize or not, are looking for confidence. They want to be able to answer all the questions they get asked in the selling situation, know that what they're saying is going to resonate and they're going to sell more as a result. So I talk in terms of being in control, being prepared, not leaving things to chance, having confidence, rather than, would you like a clear sales message, which is too pedestrian. And I'm expecting them to connect the dots when it's my job to connect the dots for them. So the destination of having a clear sales message, yes, you're going to sell more stuff and sales cycle shorten, etc. I get that, but you're going to feel more confident. Sales is going to be a much less scary, intimidating place to be. That's what I focus on my messaging, rather than, would you like to buy a clear sales message? Which isn't as appealing. So make sure you're not selling the wrong thing to your buyers, and make sure you're focusing on what matters. And what matters is the destination, not the journey. The trick is you have to understand what the destination is in your business. Right, that's it for this episode of the Daily Sales Message. Tomorrow in episode 292, going to be talking about discounting. Something negative about discounting, something to avoid. I'll cover that in more detail tomorrow. In the meantime, if you haven't already, please hop on over to sellingconfidencescore.com. At sellingconfidencescore.com, there is a 20-question quiz. It takes about 2 minutes. It will uncover your number one sales blocker and, more importantly, what you can do to overcome it with a free, simple, tailored action plan. That's it for this episode. Thank you for listening or watching all the way to the end. I'll catch you tomorrow for another exciting edition of the Daily Sales Message.